It's Ainsley Almanor who will be on the floor. It's controlled by Vanderbilt in white on your screen. They go right to left. And Edwards, who had that big game, had the ball. They move it around quickly, and Magnon, a three, that's no good. And a good box out there that sent Williams all the way to the ground. What will Kentucky try to do against Vanderbilt?
Well, what they've always done. They've gotten that ball side to side so good this year. They open the floor up for that reason right there, Ravi. They are so good in ball screen slips, finding the roll man.
Amari Williams puts him on the board. It's 2-0, the Vanderbilt starting five. Edwards nickel is terrific. He's been red hot, averaging 16 over his last couple of games. Hogard, a familiar name, as that three drops from Edwards at the top of the key.
Well, Edwards came open on the first possession, just turned down an elbow jump shot. If you're Kentucky, you cannot let Edwards get clean looks in this game.
Ortega Owe, who Jimmy just highlighted all the way to the rack. He went right by nickel and lays it up off the window.
Such an important guard for Mark Pope, his ability to get in the paint.
Good cut, backdoor move, and he hit him as he was going up. Edwards has all five. Butler pretty in the paint, can't get the roll. McLaughlin says, I'll try, and that one was halfway down. Michael, thank you very much. From Paris to Vanderbilt, Nash Vegas, and a block underneath. Vanderbilt underway in white. Magnon up and in.
Ravi, Vanderbilt gets 21% of their points off of transition. They are so good on their home floor, running off their defense.
Welcome to crowd with Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch here. This is Memorial Gymnasium. Last Saturday, they knocked off number 6 Tennessee. They got a chance to knock off another top 10 team as Ortega Owe takes it inside. It is full to capacity, over 13,000 here, 14,000 pushing as they watch Kentucky and Vanderbilt just underway first half. Both these teams like to go quick. Very likely to see a high-scoring game. Magnon left, we didn't follow it.
Well, Kentucky has struggled mightily with pick-and-roll defense so far this season. Expect the team in white to have a ball screen in about every possession in this game.
Jackson Robinson closely guarded. Good switch that time by Vanderbilt on defense. Owe. Off, Williams keeps it alive. Nickel jumps for it, and Owe ripped it away. And they let him play on with all sorts of contact. And the ball is tied up on the floor. Wow. This feels like the Vandy, Alabama football game early to start.
Man, both teams, though, playing with that desperate energy that you have to have in the SEC on any given night. And it's a high-contact league, but both these teams have been pretty good when you break them down on film, playing through contact. There's that run game. Magnon finishes it off. A huge block shot to help secure that Tennessee win by Vandy last Saturday. It's an undersized Vandy squad, Ravi, but man, it's so skilled on the offensive end, 1 through 5.
Two teams built in the portal, especially Vanderbilt. Travis Perry into the game. He's the Kentucky kid who set all sorts of high school records in Kentucky, and he's finding his way with no Kirk Kriisa available. Williams in a post with all 6 of their points coming into paint. A little too strong, and the rebound, Vandy.
Yeah, good game rebounding by Vanderbilt.
Magnon, a Cornell transfer. That shot was blocked by Almanor. Williams left wide open at the free throw line. Perry in the corner, still 10 on the shot clock. Buried on the baseline, he kicks it out. Almanor will fire. He'll find the bottom.
Well, he's going to get his time today with Andrew Carr not being available. A very trusted three-point shooter.
His 19th three of the year. There's another three. That one finds the bottom, and he is red hot. Jason Edwards, a big first half.
Yeah, he can score as good as any guard in this league, Rav. You've got to be there on the catch. Such a quick release out of 2 in white.
Jimmy had 21 in the loss to Alabama. He had 18 in the win against Tennessee. Jackson Robinson knocks one down from the wing.
Jackson Robinson, like Brea, is a no-mistake guy. What do I mean by that? You cannot make a mistake on those two guys. They shoot it at a high clip.
He's hit 15 of his last 33s coming into this game, 50%. Vanderbilt has been suspect when it comes to defending the three. In conference, giving up 40% from three. Well, a ball fake, and how's he feeling right now? Edwards drops in another one.
The transfer from North Texas, just dynamic off the bounce. The best that Vanderbilt has, and one of the best in this league, creating his own.
Perry, that was down and out. Edwards has 10 of Vanderbilt's 12 points, and he thought about that one. We got Robinson on him now. There's another three. That one falls. These two teams will mirror each other in their desire to shoot threes.
Everyone on Vanderbilt's roster is listed as a point guard. That's what Mark Byington recruited in the portal. He wanted guys that could play 1 through 5, and it shows up offensively with their stretch 4 or their stretch 5 knocking down threes. This kid is a problem, 1 in white. One of the best shot creators in the SEC. Big time atmosphere, big time game to start our Saturday on ESPN.
Back-to-back weekends here in Nashville, campus of Vanderbilt. They have filled this gymnasium. We got Big Blue in town, but last week it was orange. And remember, Vanderbilt, thanks to Dansby Swanson, the great shortstop who played on that national championship team, we don't do orange. Well, they were getting done by the orange, especially late, an 11-0 run. Cut into a lead, and Chaz Lanier had a chance to tie the game up with under 3 to go, and he missed a free throw. Vandy held on, and they knocked off number 6. It was Mark Byington's biggest win as a coach here. They won it by a point, 76-75. So from orange to blue, and a very similar start here because Edwards had 18 in that game. He's already got 10 today.
Well, it's one of the great venues in college basketball. When you come in here. It has a unique feel to it. You mentioned Mark Byington and Mark Pope. My estimation, 2 guys that should be heavily in the conversation for National Coach of the Year in the first year, what they've accomplished. Mark Byington, though, recruited specifically, Ravi, to run an offense similar to Mark Pope, where they stretch you out. All 5 guys can take you off the bounce. Very good ball movement on both ends of the floor. And it's a Kentucky team coming in a week off. They have concentrated on defense, rebounding, and defense without fouling, and probably a little bit of middle ball screen action as well, which they are very good at by Garrison.
Substitutions into the game right away. Kentucky takes advantage of that as Edwards, who's got all those points, gets his first break. Jalen Carey's got a terrific body, 22. He's on there. The 3 is no good, and always going to try to push for Kentucky. He sees a lane. He takes advantage of it, but too hard off the back iron. Tyler Tanner is terrific as a freshman. Doesn't turn the ball over at all. He's got 2 turnovers in 382 minutes played. That's him with the basketball. Nickel will fire. He's been red hot. That one's off to the right.
Good job by Kentucky, though, to be there on the catch. Maybe rush Nickel just a little bit. Both teams are really good at cutting off the ball.
Grant Huffman 4 is also in. So's Kobe Brea in blue, number 4. Dean Garrison worked the high-low. Cutting is Owen. That was a difficult pass.
Good job by Vanderbilt to understand how well Kentucky cuts from that opposite 45. Be between the ball and the man.
Ball fake, now a pull-up jumper. No, a little too strong from the freshman. Butler probing his way in. Nickel had that one go off of Butler. Good hands by number 5 in white, Tyler Nickel.
A very physical shooter is what Tyler Nickel is. I mean, he's a designated 3-point shooter, but he does more than that for Vanderbilt. Comes in with a little bit of a late reach down, but gets enough ball to go off of Butler.
Nickel's a guy that Byington, who coached at James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia, exactly where Nickel grew up. And everywhere Nickel went, Byington would always check in on him. You want to come here? He went to North Carolina. Yeah, I'm going to go there. He then transferred to Virginia Tech. But before that, you want to come play for me at James Madison? Nope, don't want to do that either. Wild shot. Finally, he gets here to Vanderbilt, and that's the one that works. Brea, high arcing three, a little too strong, and it's tipped back out.
Well, Vandy got lucky, though, to not run, buddy run with Brea. You cannot let this kid, 4 in blue, find that corner.
Trent Noah, number 9, into the game. He was the one that helped deflect that ball out. And he's getting some action, and so is 5. Chandler, who missed it. Noah trying to keep it alive. So we're seeing substitutions as he goes deep into his bench. Noah and Chandler, no Carr today because of a bad back. Oh, we'll take it off the window.
Again, in transition, Vanderbilt is so dangerous. 21% of their points are coming off of their run game. And they are not afraid to let that trail guy shoot threes.
That's Jalen Carey. A couple of big guys have knocked down threes in this one for Vanderbilt. Speaking of big guys, Garrison, no. Living in the paint, goes with the left, way too strong. Terrific defense that time by Brandon Garrison.
Yeah, good job by Garrison to get back in front of the play because he was beaten off the bounce initially.
Good play, too. He may have got away with a couple of extra steps, but Garrison kept his composure, both defensive and now on the offensive end.
Yeah, that was length beating strength by Garrison under the rim.
18-16, about 10.5 to go in the first half. He's gotten a little cold from 3. Good hustle that time by Carey, but he's unable to keep it in bounds. We'll take a timeout. Big Blue Nation in town. They trail Vanderbilt 18-16 with the SEC on ESPN. Question still hanging in the balance whether he plays or not.
Yeah, I think he will. Here's what I'm looking for today out of those games. Duke has a chance to go 20-0 in the ACC now. They have 3 possibilities of slip-ups at Wake today, at Clemson, at North Carolina, but man, Duke's got a real chance to run the table. 7 Houston versus 12 Kansas is going to be a rock fight in the fog, Gravy. The 2 of the top 7 defenses in all of college basketball go head-to-head.
Yeah.
Houston has not played an elite team since all the way back in November. Are they ready for the challenge? And Tennessee, Auburn, both teams right now in a heavy fight to be on that 1 seed line. Auburn with an advantage there. Man, would Tennessee do a lot of boost for their resume to go and win at Auburn to try to hang in that 1 seed conversation in that NCAA tournament.
Double at the top, leaves Butler on the wing. His 3 is no good. And how about the hustle and the offensive rebound by a kid getting some minutes today, Trent Noah.
Now, Trent Noah's a worker, and Mark Pope had no hesitation throwing him in this game with Andrew Carr not being available.
Good hands there, knocks it away from Butler as Kentucky's missed their last 5 threes. And that ends that when Brea.
I say can't, like you cannot just stand there and dare shoot Brea. You're there on the catch, that's not quick enough. He's got one of the quickest releases in this league.
He shoots 47% from three-point land. Brockton penetrates. Williams with a big height advantage denied that. Edwards back in the game. He's got 10 already. Deflected away. McLaughlin picks it up, uses that girth to barrel his way in, but another rebound for Trent Noah.
Kentucky struggled heavily against Alabama, just lowering their head and driving the ball. And they're going to have to guard the ball well again this afternoon against Vanderbilt. And this is what I'm talking about, the plays that win ball games. Noah just comes flying in, wins his one-on-one battle. And then Brea right there, that's not close enough. That's too much separation on an elite shooter. He was the best shooter in the portal, and he's the best shooter right now in college ball, talking about 4 in blue.
Vanderbilt, one of their last 8. They got Edwards back in. He kicks it, and that's a 3 that's buried by the freshman Tyler Tanner.
Vanderbilt's so good, man, at filling behind on those drives. And the release pass off of pressure to find Tanner wide open.
Vanderbilt 5 of 11 now from deep. Who's on the floor here for Kentucky? You got Noah, you got Perry in there, and you can't leave that guy open either.
No, what are we doing if you're Vanderbilt? You cannot go under on Brea or Jackson Robinson. You can, but you'll be given 3 points if you do.
He shoots about 34% from three-point land. So their two best shooters were just left wide open on successive possessions. Kentucky with a 1-point lead. Edwards now has the taller Williams on him. As Magnon forces his way in, the Cornell transfer can't get it to go. He picks it up again. That three miss. Magnon, a man amongst those guys. Can't get it to go. They get another rip rebound.
The next one deserves to go in if you're Vanderbilt.
Well, it's going to be McLaughlin, and he could not get it to go. Devin McLaughlin. A lot of opportunities for Vanderbilt that trip.
Right, you give up 3 offensive rebounds, you should have to pay for the problem. Kentucky, very fortunate.
Williams, watch it. Oh, he got McLaughlin up on his back, and Williams is down on the ground. They're already without Andrew Carr today. Devin McLaughlin is 6'7", 230 pounds, and that came right down on Williams' back. He slams the floor. He's not happy. It was his pivot, though, Jimmy, that stopped all business with the exception of McLaughlin, the defender.
Yeah, McLaughlin's coming from behind, and Williams very good with that left hand getting downhill. That shot fake and pump fake right there, and McLaughlin leaves the floor. Very awkward fall. I think they stick with a common foul.
(22-21) at the request of Mark Pope. They did look at that common foul, 2 free throws, and as we all know, if the Pope's asking you to do something, you're going to go do it.
Yeah, right call though, common foul, nothing to upgrade there. So what are we looking at in this game right now? Vanderbilt's offense, so good, Ravi. Driving the ball, filling behind, and multiple guys can stick a three. This time it's Tyler Tanner. That Vanderbilt offense, man, they get you on your heels. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot make a mistake on Jackson Robinson or Kobe Brea in this game if you're Vanderbilt. The mistake was going under the screen, and Jackson Robinson makes you pay. Why do I say that? Brea gets 6 3-point shots a game off. Robinson gets 7. You've got to take that away if you're Vanderbilt and not let Big Blue Nation get to their 11 made threes a game right now at 40% in conference play.
Now, Williams slammed the floor in frustration. He's good to go, though. The big kid out of Nottingham, England. Got a smile on his face, talking with the official as he walks towards the free throw line in the 22-21 game. 7 feet, 262 pounds. Williams is really a playmaker at the top. He's the assist guy, believe it or not, with the ability to score when he wants to. And his free throw shooting, 65%.
Well, he's coming off a double-double at Alabama, his 4th of the year. And every coach, when you watch them go through the scouting report to play Kentucky, they say the same thing. You've got to pressure this guy. You can't let him beat us with 3 or 4 assists a ball game. But you overpressure this kid. He can get downhill and drive it, which got him to the free throw line. And Garrison checks back in. Really good depth at that 5 position for Kentucky.
They sure do. And again, if you're just joining us, there's no Andrew Carr today. He's out with a bad back. Nickel will fire from real deep, and he buries it.
And that's a mistake by Kentucky. The kid shoots it just as good as your best shooter. You cannot let Nickel release a shot Ravi in this game without bouncing it first.
First made field goal for Nickel, who's been averaging 16 a game last couple of contests. Almanor will fire again from 3, too long, and an uncontested defensive rebound by Magnon. Edwards bounce pass down low. McLaughlin too deep that time.
Really good by 99. That empty side corner. Edwards gets in front of his defender. Becomes a 2-on-1 game.
Vanderbilt back on top. Backdoor move. Robinson too strong. Edwards with a blow-by, lays it up and in. He's got a dozen.
Vanderbilt got Kentucky in an automatic mismatching transition. They make you pay. Man, is that kid quick with that first and second bounce.
Largest lead of the night for Vanderbilt, up by 5, a 7-0 run. Almanor just barreled into Nickel, and he gets called for the offensive foul.
Such a smart, tough kid is Nickel. The last 3 Vanderbilt hoops, though, right there, Nickel. You got a longer than you should close out, and Perry just not quick enough to get back to it. That's where the game became a 2-on-1, favoring the white jerseys with no one in the corner. So that's an empty corner ball screen, and the mismatch in transition. Vanderbilt read it well, got Edwards to the rim.
Edwards leading everybody. He's got 12 points for Vanderbilt. Nickel.
Can't do it.
Can't do that.
No, can't do it.
When Nickel, by the way, was at North Carolina, Hubert Davis said of him, Nickel's going to be one of the greatest players in Carolina history. Said that about Tyler Nickel when he was there. Then he transferred out of there because he didn't become one of the greatest players. And he went to Virginia Tech, and now he is, of course, here at Vanderbilt.
Well, Ravi, he's a specialist. 117 of his 152 attempts on the year from the three-point line. He's a solid 6'7", a physical kid, bounces you around defensively, trying to make cuts against him. I can see what Hubert was saying, but it has worked out well for him at Vanderbilt.
Good hands that time on the baseline, and you can see that's where Vanderbilt bench is. One of the unique characteristics of this building is that obviously both teams are on each baseline. You see the coaches then roam the sideline. They each got some stools out there, but it's unique to have teams underneath the basket.
Yeah, Mark Pope has played in this gym.
Yeah.
First time to coach in it. It is a different feeling. I've been here as a coach before, and you get separated from your bench standing on an island out there where Mark Pope is now.
Away with 5 on the shot clock. Hogard right on him. He used his hands to deflect it away. And does he have a chance to get out front? Oh, he threw it behind him. He had what appeared to be a layup.
Ravi, never throw behind when you're the lead guy with the ball.
Shot missed, and Nickel couldn't hold on to it. Layup is good. Boy, Noah is playing some meaningful minutes. Trenton Noah out of Harlan, Kentucky.
Well, he's playing harder than anyone else on the floor right now. That's why Mark Pope trusts him in this game on the road, going deeper in his bench than normal.
Gary got into traffic. He had it knocked away, and then he goes to tie it up. No whistle. Nickel.
Damn, oh man, he's right on target by Nickel. That's his. He shoots an awfully high percentage from that slot three.
Watch it. That's Jackson Robinson off to the left. Three-point shooting contest is broken out here at Memorial Gym. Another one that gets missed. Hogard, Magnon. Yes, with Kentucky player Butler down on the ground. Threw it right over him, and well, Butler's a little shaken up.
Well, he got knocked around hard. You and I were there in Rupp Arena against Texas A&M.
Hurt that shoulder in that game.
Been a little bit banged up and bruised ever since.
Here comes another steal and a breakout. Butler back, good hands, out of bounds. What hustle by Lamont Butler took an easy 2 away from Vanderbilt.
There's a reason why Butler is described as one of the best defenders in all of college basketball. No give up by Butler. I mean, he's trailing this play Ravi the entire time. At the very end, just gets even with MJ Collins, and lightning quick hands by Butler to take away an automatic 2.
And Hogard coming out. He's going to walk by his coach. You wonder if he's going to say, why did you pass that back? Maybe want to take that layup, but Hogard, the Michigan State transfer, goes to the bench. Carey goes to the paint. Right hand, yes.
So now that time strength beat length. A good job to get a little bit of contact and knock that length back. And Carey, an undersized post guy, makes it pay.
Yeah. Thick though, 6'5", 265. He goes, there's a steal. A pickpocket specialist and a guy that doesn't get the ball taken away, Tanner. Edwards, long 3, no.
And Colin Chandler dribbling without a purpose and no plan. That will not work in this game. If he's going to play as a freshman, he's got to grow up on the road this afternoon.
Williams, he knew he had a chance. Here's a breakout for Carey. Robinson will let him go in and throw it down.
And Ravi, how about the transition pass by Vanderbilt to ignite it in Memorial Gym? It had this feeling last Saturday when the number 16 in the country came in here, Tennessee, and now they got Big Blue Nation. The steal and the pass, boom, just kind of a curveball around the drop to the outside corner. Jalen Carey says, thank you very much, man. We got a good one in Music City.
All right, Zubin, thank you. There he is, Mark Pope, of course, the legendary coach here who won a national championship, captained a team. Had a big dunk here when he was a player, and then eventually went over and chest bumped Rick Pitino, which caught the coach by surprise. What he's not pleased with right now is his team has turned it over, Jimmy, in 5 of the last 8 possessions, 9 turnovers overall. You know Vanderbilt, they live off turnovers.
Yeah, they do. This team is so good in white, switching 1 through 5. Hard ball pressure. Brea raises with the pressure on him. A much better job by Vanderbilt to be there on the catch of Brea.
Edwards, who's got 12, goes right at Amari Williams. That didn't work, but Carey's there, and finally a whistle. We have had 2 fouls called so far in this first half. This will be the 3rd one, and it comes with 2:43 to go in the first half.
Jalen Carey is such a brute, 22 in white. I mean, he comes in and just knocks people out of the way and gets an offensive rebound and draws contact. An undersized post player. Played for Mark Byington at James Madison last year as a 7.4 rebound guy behind an all-conference player, but I mean, he's got a chance to be an inside, undersized wrecking ball in this league the next couple of years.
Yeah, double-double against Tennessee. Our featured ESPN2 Big Monday women's basketball matchup. Of course, it's Tahina Paopao, number 2 South Carolina, just rolling right now. They are going to be in Knoxville to take on Talaysia Cooper and number 17 Tennessee at 7 Eastern time. We talked about the men's game here last weekend. How about the women's game here last weekend when the Lady Vanderbilt Commodores knocked off the Vols by 1.
Yeah, they sure did. Kim Caldwell's bunch has lost, I believe, 4 games now in conference play by 1 possession, but congratulations to Tennessee's head coach on the birth of their baby boy, Connor Scott Caldwell, on Thursday.
Butler working hard. He was denied at the rim. Yeah, congratulations to Tennessee basketball family on the women's side, grows by 1. Carey thinks about it again. That one is off. And a couple of white shirts went up for it. It looks like stay with Vanderbilt.
I'm watching Vanderbilt set a ball screen in every possession, and a lot of it's quickly in transition. Why? Kentucky, number 350 in the country, Ravi, in terms of how well they cover a pick and roll handler. And they're in the high 200s covering a pick and roll guy. So that pick and roll action has bothered Kentucky all year long.
Mark Pope was asked about defense pregame. He described it as a work in progress.
Yeah.
Collins Jr. thinks about it. Vandy's taken 35 shots. 10 more now than Kentucky has, and they knock a 3 in.
That's just too much room. If you're going to switch, you better switch high. Kentucky switching below or on the 3-point line will not work against a team like Vanderbilt knocking down 3.
12-point lead. Kentucky scored 2 points in the last 6 minutes. They are going to get Collins Jr. a little too aggressive defensively.
Here's what I'm talking about with Kentucky's defense. Got to know personnel, and you get switched out. Brandon Garrison right here. You are switched out on an elite shooter, and your feet are stuck inside that 3-point line, and your 7-foot wingspan can't recover to the shooter. And good job by Vanderbilt again, continuing to move that basketball side to side and get Kentucky in closeouts.
Kentucky hasn't played in a week. They did not have a shoot-around earlier today. They are playing without Andrew Carr. Otega Owe has 4 points. Garrison, that one is an easy one for him.
He could be a lottery pick if that 3-point shot continues to drop for that kid. So good, long, versatile, has a little floater game, unique for a guy his size.
Yeah, sophomore at 6'10", 250. He's an Oklahoma State transfer out of Oklahoma City. Tanner can really handle the rock, can he?
Did not have a turnover in all of non-conference play.
Good pass down low. Really good look from Hogard.
They cut you to death, Vanderbilt does. And they are very good scoring at under 10 in the possession because they continue to have multiple cuts, multiple screens within their possession.
Garrison looking for that same shot he just had. Instead, he hands it off to Butler and then tries to set a screen on Tanner and roll. Loose ball, it's another turnover and a run out. Tanner, alley-oop, got it! He found Collins Jr., 41-27. Butler, Garrison, too strong, tip no good. Garrison throws it up, and will that be an end of half? Yes. Shot came after the red light went on. What a performance by Vanderbilt in this first half, Jimmy. 41-27.
Vanderbilt has been the better team the first 20 minutes. And those turnovers really ignited Vanderbilt in transition. They have made Kentucky pay, I believe, every time in transition. Not the recipe for success on the road for Big Blue Nation.
Vanderbilt, Jimmy, is 15-4.
Yeah.
The 4 losses when they trailed at half. They've never lost when they have a lead. This is the SEC on ESPN. They've already done that once, in a sense, shocking the world last weekend when they beat Tennessee. And here's Vanderbilt with a 14-point lead at the half. 15 assists. They've shared the sugar. Edwards had 10 quick. He ends up with 12 in the half. It's the fewest points that Kentucky has scored in a half, and a big 20-4 run over the last 7.5 minutes. Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, welcome back inside Memorial Gymnasium. Turnovers are killing Kentucky.
They are. When you consider Kentucky's averaging 11 turnovers in their 5 SEC games. They have 10 in the first half, man. That's a recipe for disaster, especially on the road. Now, credit Vanderbilt's defense. They play with really fast hands, and multiple guys can really guard their own on the perimeter and put ball pressure on. And Vanderbilt's been good doubling down at times. And Brandon Garrison has 4 of Kentucky's 10 turnovers. So it's not just the ball pressure on the guards. It has a cumulative effect. The guy that's seen a big rim is Jason Edwards for Vanderbilt, the leading scorer for the Commodores. Such a tough cover. Transferred in from North Texas, who averaged 19 a game. He can get his own, especially when he finds a mismatch. And then a lot of things are going well for Vanderbilt in this building last Saturday and the first half of this one.
Yeah. Edwards, quite a story. High school, wasn't really recruited at all, went to Miles College. He redshirted there. And then it was Dodge City Community College, where finally what he knew he was capable of happened. He averaged 22 a game, then North Texas, and now Vanderbilt in the portal world. And he is destroying Kentucky in the first half. And a turnover to start right away for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Vanderbilt goes ball screen in the middle third of the floor, and Kentucky defense gets a turnover.
Robinson gets around Nickel, and Williams plants himself down there deep in the paint. They got to get Owe going. He's got 4. He still has 4. Williams with a rip. Butler wide open. Got it.
Yeah, you have to make Vanderbilt pay when they don't clean up the miss. Now, Vanderbilt's been very good, Ravi, only allowing 8 offensive rebounds per game in league play. And Kentucky on the road's got to get on that offensive glass.
Forget that great game Butler had against Louisville, where he made every one of his threes in the air. Goes Butler, and he's going to get called as he clipped him with his feet on the way by.
If you're Kentucky, your 7th offensive rebound of the game is right here. And Williams comes in as a long arm guy in a really good location by Butler to get in that slot 45 for Williams to find. It can't be a finesse game for Kentucky coming back on the road. They're going to have to do the dirty work on the glass, get to the foul line.
Well, Edwards just had one roll off the iron and go over the backboard. Yeah, Butler had that 6-for-6 three-point shooting night against Louisville. On his way to a career-high 33 points.
Yeah, he's made 6 in a game. Brea's made 7 in a game. Robinson's made 7. So a lot of offense for Mark Pope to have for a comeback on the road.
Oh, and with the ball has scored in double figures in every game. There's currently no Wildcat in double figures. They've spread it around. As Owe goes hard to the rack, and he gets triple teamed, and we've had more whistles here in the first minute and a half than we did the entire first half. I wonder what's going to take to get Otega Owe going. Rivals Week, NBA Countdown, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Saturday primetime on its way back. 5:30 Eastern Time on ABC, the tripleheader rolls on. The Celtics will take on the Mavericks, and then the NBA Countdown crew gets you ready for Lakers and Warriors. LeBron playing well lately, the Celtics not playing well. And Wembanyama goes back home to Paris, and boy, did that team get destroyed today.
Man,
Pacers put it on them.
they sure did. Otega Owe, Ravi, is Kentucky's best driver going downhill. They are working with him, Kentucky is, for him to drive downhill and make plays off of 2 feet and become a playmaker as well as that hard driver. Very good, though, driving the ball off one, gets to the free throw line.
Brockton can do that. He did it in the first half. That's too strong. Nickel with a nice offensive tip. Paint, Edward, no. And here comes Owe and company. They left Almanor wide open. The bench stands and says, shoot it. And he does.
Absolutely, why not by Almanor? With Carr not available, Almanor is going to get more minutes. And Big Blue Nation comes roaring out at halftime to cut this thing to 6. A defensive mistake made by Vanderbilt. 2 guys went for the ball and left Almanor completely uncovered in the corner.
An 8-0 run. They left him open in front of his bench. Did you see every single member of the bench got up and said, shoot it?
It is Saturday in the SEC, and the play starter, Williams, delivers the pass, and watch the bench to your point. Right here. All rise, fire, and finish.
Beautiful.
And Big Blue Nation starting to roar in Nashville, Music City.
Years ago, the conference was nothing what it is now. They hire Mike Tranghese out of the Big East to kind of get things going. Greg Sankey comes on board as Magnon misses. They invest in coaches, and all of a sudden the Jungle's not alone to be in an unbelievably difficult place to play.
Well, the Jungle has the nation's #1 offense to cheer for.
Yeah, it's true.
And that game tonight, a clash of titans.
There's always got a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, the urgency and really the speed that Kentucky's playing with in the second half. Much better. Owe gets to that right hand, a bad closeout by Magnon. And you attack this kid with a bad angle, Owe is going to make you pay. I talked about his ability to finish off of 1 foot, as good as we have in this league, and leads Kentucky in free throw attempts. Just a tough cover for 40 minutes.
He transferred from Oklahoma. Why Kentucky? He said it's the biggest stage in college ball. It's hard to turn that down. An 11-0 run for the Cats, bring them within 3. And even in this building, Big Blue Nation is making more noise right now. Hogard a quieting 3, though.
Ravi, again, Kentucky's ball screen defense let him down because you come off of it, and no one got on Hogard.
The crowd wanted a travel. They get the turnover instead. Magnon, Butler hustles back. He's done that twice now to blow up a play. Hogard again. Not good.
Not good, and not a good shot by Hogard. You had time left on that possession, and you settled for a deep challenge 3.
Owe is up to 9 points in the game. That's Williams, the 7-footer, has it deep. Oh, a late whistle. The Kentucky bench and Mark Pope may have helped with that one.
Well, Vanderbilt comes off a middle ball screen, and no one recovers to the shooter in time. Hogard makes him pay. And the next possession, though, Hogard from a similar spot just rushed it, man, with a lot of time left on that shot clock. Yeah, Kentucky comes in number 3 offensively in the country, only number 78 defensively. Now that's 10 points better than they were about 10 days ago. But it has been a while since Kentucky has had a top 10 defense, all the way back to 2019. Obviously Mark Pope's first year, so that defense falls on Calipari, but this is a Kentucky program that's got to get better on the defensive end.
Butler will get a breather. We're around 16:24 now, so there'll be a timeout at the 16. Give Butler a couple of extra minutes. Edwards back into the game for Vanderbilt as Hogard takes a seat on the bench. Edwards in amongst some trees. Nickel 3 looks good, and it is.
And what a dime drop to the nickel by Edwards. I mean, playing off 2 feet, and again, that fill behind by Vanderbilt is elite.
I was wondering when we would get the nickel dime reference, and you had it.
Yeah, it was right there, though.
Oweh pulls up money. He's now got double figures again. So every game he's checked that box. He's got 11.
Yeah, he is the only guy in the SEC that's double figures every game. That's the consistency that he has played with.
He's on his way to a big second half so far. Edwards, pretty play. Wow.
Ravi, he has developed so good off the bounce under Mark Byington. Was pretty much a jump shooter at North Texas.
Almanor, yes sir. Teams are hot right now.
Now that's on Vanderbilt. You score on one end and just no location at all of shooters in your transition defense.
Here's Edwards again. He said, my superpower is my speed.
Well, speed never has a bad day.
Kentucky's pulled within 5. They've got 17 points this half.
And Vanderbilt trying to fight off that push by Kentucky, led by Edwards. The fill behind 3 is a staple of Vanderbilt's offense. You cannot watch the ball if you're Kentucky when you're off ball. And Edwards, his ability to create his own, as good as a guard as we have in the Southeastern Conference.
But at Missouri, really tough place to go and play. And LSU with Cam Carter, they get to host Mark Sears. Yeah. Auburn's number 1. Is Alabama on the talent level or better than Auburn, you think? What do you think?
I think they're right there even. Now, you could argue the 2 most talented teams in this league, if not all of college basketball, Auburn and Alabama. Your point about Missouri, man, Dennis Gates goes from not winning a game last year in the SEC to his team being number 22 in the country. And that Missouri pressure it's real and it's constant, relentless.
Great start to the second half for Kentucky, 17 points. They scored 18 in the last 15 minutes of the first half. Man. So they've got 17 here in the first 5.
Ravi, and think about Vanderbilt, only 4 turnovers in this game. Man, do they run clean offense.
Edwards, difficult shot and front iron. No Andrew Carr for Kentucky. Did not dress for the game, dealing with a bad back. Robinson, that's money as he pulls up and knocks it down.
I love that action by Kentucky. How quickly they get into kind of zoom action out of transition. The big guy driving the ball towards the wing for Robinson into a curl.
High arcing and no foul call. Byington was begging the official, saying Nickel got hit on the release. Brea deep, got his man up in the air, and then he faded away. It came up short. Byington's message to his team, don't get caught up in all the blue that you see here, and don't get out of your own game. No individual stuff as Collins launched a 3. Do you feel like they're falling into that a little bit?
Yeah, they could, and you have to be us, is what Mark Byington told his guys at 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, it rolls around a couple of times and in for Garrison, and it was the penetration of Owe that led to it. 1-point game.
This needs to be a very good play call by Mark Byington. They need a bucket in the worst way to fend off this Kentucky push. You knew it would involve a ball screen. The percentages tell you to make Kentucky guard him.
10 on the shot clock. Nickel the drive. And it's good.
What a forceful drive by an elite three-point shooter. But man, he's got a big, strong body, lower body. Well done through contact.
It felt like that was the play call you were asking for. Robinson, we are tied.
You have to take away the touch of Robinson, an elite shooter. He on one side of the floor, Brea on the other.
What did Mark Pope and the coaching staff say to Kentucky at the half? They've made 8 of their last 9 shots. 6 on the shot clock. Collins again. That will have to go in off the backboard. It's no good. And here's Robinson trying to bring Kentucky into the lead. Brea, ball fake, 3. Oh, he was looking at his bench, and Pope, like he knew it was going in, and it didn't. And Owe lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, very confident release by Brea, because you're right, he shot it and then spun away from it. Start going the other way. That's what I'm talking about with Robinson. You can't just let him catch the ball there, Ravi. Too quick of a release. He's like Lanier. He's probably getting it off in about 0.5 of a second. The kid from Tennessee, to the quickest releases in this league. And man, what a change in half by Kentucky from their first half to their second.
They've been taking care of the basketball, which has obviously been a huge part of it. Owe gets a breather with 12 minutes to go.
Another very important play call by Mark Byington in front of us.
Trent Noah gets some minutes now. He played quite a bit in the first half. He's getting time because there's no Andrew Carr. Almanor making up a lot of those minutes. We saw Colin Chandler used sparingly as well. 51 all. Vanderbilt trying to protect its floor against a top 10 team for the second consecutive week. Magnon hard to the hole. Too strong. They're going to get a whistle and 2 free throws.
Really good action though by Vanderbilt. They come off the ball screen, Ravi, get Kentucky in a defensive rotation with a pass out to the three-point line, and then Magnon got a good angle to get himself fouled. Man, it's going to be a
fouls on Garrison.
Yeah, hard-fought, rugged last 12 minutes of this game. Operation in terms of how we view the best team in college ball, the analytics, everything says Auburn's the best team. We know this about Tennessee. You trust their defense, which you have to have in the jungle, but I also got my eyes on that Houston-Kansas game, Ravi, because Houston has not played a tough opponent since back in November. So we'll see where Houston is to the top 7 defenses in the country, Houston and Kansas this year.
A missed free throw from Magnon, who's an 82% free throw shooter, and he missed them both. And all of a sudden, the momentum is, in a big way, going big blue. They're 8 of 11, shooting 72% to start this second half, and have pulled even at 51.
And Kentucky 8 out of 19 from the three-point line in this game.
Big numbers. Butler, bounce pass in the pocket. And Garrison is having a good game. Missed. Rebound, Carey underneath. Tanner filling the void as Hogarth goes all the way to the baseline, and he couldn't get that one to go. They've been cold. Butler sees a window, up and in.
And again, that's on Vanderbilt. Absolutely applaud Lamont Butler, but there was a lackadaisical effort by the team in white to get back and build a wall and stop the ball. Man, Butler's so good getting downhill.
Asked Byington, how would you describe him? Shooter, driver? He said winner.
Yeah, winner.
Talking about Butler.
Yep.
San Diego State transfer, seen the Final Four already. Tanner. Garrison on him. There's a mismatch somewhere. Magnon fires back. Tanner, no. Vanderbilt, second half, not shooting well at all. 4 of 15. And again, Butler throws it up, and he will go to the free throw line Kentucky imposing itself right now on Vanderbilt.
I just said how good Butler is getting downhill. Always terrific as well, but one in blue. You don't stop the ball. There's no stop sign at all. And Lamont Butler gets all the way to the rim, not even touched. And boy, Vanderbilt, as good as they've been offensively in this game, they're going to have to tighten it up their defensive belt with 10:26 to go. Kentucky starting to score off of their defense and getting good looks in their half court.
Lamont Butler, in his 5 SEC games coming in, had just 10 total turnovers. He's got 3 today. But as a probing guard, Jimmy, he's sort of like water finding cracks. He's terrific at it and getting to the paint and setting up others.
Yeah, no doubt. Good use of probing by you. He makes it all work for Kentucky on both ends of the floor. He sets the line of defense, picking up the point guard, runs that offense with great efficiency. And he, by the way, he's averaging a career best for him in points and assists.
And rebounds and steals per game. Kentucky, who was down double figures, now with a 3-point lead midway through half number 2.
Probably about a 70% Vanderbilt crowd, 30% Kentucky as you look around.
Hoggard in traffic, no good. One of the reasons Byington wanted them with all that Big Ten experience. He won't back down. He just hasn't made those shots. And they had Oweh and Butler airmailed him. They both would like to see that replay itself. Get another chance for alley-oop.
And this head coach, look at Mark Pope right there, all the way up by that coaching box. You are coaching on an island as a head coach, not getting instant feedback from your bench. It's a really unique situation to have to handle.
Hoggard tried again. They got some hands in there, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. And it's going to be on Butler.
A.J. Hoggard has been in a lot of big games at Michigan State, now at Vanderbilt. He's a kind of a jack of all trades lead guard. Philadelphia tough kid, in a lot of pressure situations. He's made big plays. Got to get it in.
They do. Edwards had 10 quick points, and he's really slowed down. Bray, a good job. He reached in there to tie him up.
Yeah, Kentucky has not been great guarding the ball this year, but man, they were good on that possession. And Edwards just kept trying to force it, And Kentucky right there, look at it, making this kid see 3 blue jerseys. And Brea comes in, Ravi, with 2 hands, not one. You come with one and get a reach. Look at the 2-hand wrap right there. And a good change of possession by Kentucky. And Go Big Blue ramps up in Memorial Gym.
One of the things Kentucky talked about, you're sure, the turnovers. They had 13 in the first half. Midway through this one, they have 3 in the second half.
I just value the ball, man. Kentucky's been good with it so far this season.
Oweh in the paint, floater. He is so tough. Otega Oweh, 13 now, and a 15-2 Kentucky run.
Yeah, Mark Pope going to some isolation basketball with his physical guard Oweh, who wins his one-on-one battle.
Backdoor, Hoggard dribbles right into traffic. That ball was blocked by Garrison. Oweh launches short. Rebound Williams, though. Garrison picked up his dribble. He then finds Butler. Nice dish to Williams. Up and in for the big lefty.
Well, Kentucky's got a big lineup on the floor with Williams and Garrison both. So at some point within a possession, Kentucky's going to have the size advantage at the rim. And that was Williams.
Carey, they need one badly, and the big fella buries one.
A desperate 3 made by Carey. A guy that plays with brute strength, but again, Mark Byington put a roster together that he says everyone has a point guard as a description, and he wants his guys to play with that confidence shooting threes. I think Hoggard took a shot and maybe having to stop the game for a blood issue.
Yeah, he's going to get some care on those chicklets of his. Collins Jr. is going to come in, and there's the work being done. 58-54. It's been an outstanding second half for Kentucky, scoring 31 points, 31-13. They've outscored them.
Yeah, Hogarth just got raked across the face by Garrison. No call made.
Brea double teamed briefly. Garrison's played a very good game in the absence of Carr. Hands off to Butler. 5 on the shot clock. He's pinned underneath. Now looking for something to do. Blocked. Williams out of bounds off Kentucky. Butler had nowhere to go.
Great, not good. Great job by Vanderbilt to handle all the action that Kentucky just threw at him. Ball screens, zoom action, guys wrapping curl screens. 4-point game, man. Kentucky has been roaring back in this second half. Can they finish it off? Rabbit, these are guys that really caught my eye. Their first year on the job. Mark Pope, obviously, Mark Byington today. Darian DeVries at West Virginia, Dusty May at Michigan, and Pat Kelsey at Louisville. Man, those 5 guys have just knocked it out of the park when you consider they had to completely put their roster together in the spring, completely remake their product. And you could argue those 5 guys are right there in the running for National Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and look, to me, Jimmy, as you know, this is about a couple of things. A, your ability to coach, but your ability to find talent in the portal. I mean, you almost need a general manager like they do with these major league teams and professional teams to identify the talent. And then you got to vet out the talent to see that it fits the culture of your program. Byington was sort of sharing that with us earlier, but you can get good quick.
Well, Mark Byington had a successful portal because he said, I stuck with 3 things. I wanted guys that were coming in off of a top 100 net team, which means they played at a good level and their team won. And he wanted guys that felt like I got something more to prove in my basketball game. So guys out of that mid-major level with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And he said, man, the assistants did a great job in their vetting process, who fits us and who doesn't. You can say the same thing about Mark Pope. These guys have masterfully put together competitive rosters at the highest level in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and what Pope told us before the game, which is so true, he talked about just how important it is each and every game to deal with different types of challenges. You're listening to the voice of KB Burdett, explaining some things to Jimmy Dykes about what the officials were just looking at the monitor. But Pope's point, as you take a look at the explanation there from Mike Nance to Byington, this daily challenge of adjusting to different styles in this conference. And he's kind of looking at a mirror of his own team. They love to turn you over, they love to push the pace, and they love to shoot the 3.
Yeah, this is the play they're looking at, and Vanderbilt requested it. A basketball play by Garrison to block the shot as the hand's coming down, comes across Hogarth, but officials say that's just a part of basketball and we play on. But to your point, because of that, Mark Pope told us we are in a major rush to get better within this league in 6 weeks to go.
Yeah, they're in a rush because the schedule right now is a big-time challenge for them. Nice job by the point guard to set that up. Tyler Tanner found his man in the corner for a big 3, and McLaughlin knocked it down to pull him within 1.
Big-time play call by Mark Byington out of that timeout. And Tyler Tanner is going to be an elite point guard in this league. He just does not turn it over.
So that's on the close on Brea. They have recognized we can't give him an inch.
Oh, wow.
Away!
You let this cat get to his right hand. It is money at the rim.
Boy, can he get up. Man, what a game he's having. In particular, the second half. 15 now on the game.
So Byington got his shot off the timeout. Mark Pope got his answer as well.
Tanner gets rid of it quickly to Edwards. So quiet. He missed, and he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Looks like Brea may have got him with the body.
I'm going to say before I see it was a bad closeout. Just crossed him over. So you had a bad mismatch right there. Vanderbilt got mismatched and put Oweh right in the middle of the floor. Becomes a one-on-one battle. You can't hand reach and hand stop a forceful drive like Oweh. You got to get over and get your body in front of the ball. Man, what an athlete.
Maybe Edwards can get it going again from the free throw line. He knocks that one down. Jason Edwards A junior at 6'1", 175 out of Atlanta, Georgia by way of North Texas. Too strong with that second free throw.
He is a heavy usage guard for Vanderbilt, 1 in white. He takes 1 out of every 3 shots when he's on the floor.
Robinson a roll. That's a difficult shot. Good challenge defensively that time. And it was MJ Collins Jr. Three-pointer will give him a lead. Edwards driving, throws it up, and he'll end up going to the free throw line as Butler got edged out a little bit, and that led to a layup opportunity.
Yeah, Edwards is the kid that doesn't need a play call, just turn him loose in transition and let him make a play. And that explosive first step as he kind of lulls you to sleep, and then bam, right there. Vanderbilt's guards, Ravi, they're so good at driving with low shoulders. Low makes you fast with the ball, and this kid understands it.
Jason Edwards led the nation in scoring for 2 years in high school. Led the nation in scoring for 2 years in high school and didn't get a Division I sniff. He's really, you talk about chips on the shoulder. I mean, he really put a lot of faith in himself. And it's paid off big time here at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, small kid with a big game.
He went from no offers to about 50 Division I offers once he showed what he could do.
Man, what a start to a phenomenal Saturday of college hoops.
Oweh all the way to the rack. He is so strong, and he's taken over for Kentucky.
Yeah, that was not a fast drive. That was a physical, forceful, powerful drive by Oweh.
6'4", 215 out of Newark, New Jersey. He's got 13 this half. Is it Edwards' turn? How about Collins Jr.? Too strong, loose ball, Kentucky, and a foul on a call on the floor. They're going to get it on Devin McLaughlin, I think.
Gotta watch Oweh on this drive. There's nothing fast about this. Just powerful, low shoulders as well off the drive, and then a good job of finding the contact himself. Boom, right there. Goes into the defender, knocks him back a little bit. Not easy to knock Nickel off the path as a defender. And what a valuable pickup by Mark Pope in that portal. Coming from Oklahoma, been well coached by Porter Moser.
See the NBA potential
sure
in a guy like Oweh and that body and his ability to drive and shoot. Kentucky by 2. They've outscored him 35-19 in the second half. Williams a few inches on McLaughlin. Too strong.
Great job by McLaughlin to force Williams to the logo, to make that shot about 1 step further than Williams wants.
Tanner. Pretty play. Boy, he is special for a freshman.
I'm telling you, he's going to be really good. 2-time Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. And we are all locked up again. Does Vanderbilt have the Memorial magic they had last Saturday against Tennessee?
Yeah, Butler threw an elbow there, sent Tanner underneath the basket. No call. Referees have been terrific today in letting them play.
Yeah, they have.
Williams backdoor. Oweh too deep. He will shoot 2. Foul on Hogard.
Boy, Kentucky's so good at their guards, wrapping screens around the elbow and finish off their cut to the rim. Those bigs can pass it. They know exactly what they're looking for. And Oweh can come off of it right here. Williams knows, boom, you're going to curl it, I'm going to find you. A physical play at the rim.
How do you defend that? You know, if you're Hogard, you're now behind the guy.
That's the problem. Yeah, you can't be behind. That's why Kentucky uses it, Ravi. It's a very hard play to defend. You're actually counting on your off-ball teammates to be in the lane position to kind of bump Oweh like he's a big in a middle ball screen rolling. It's a very difficult play to defend, especially when you're chasing from behind.
Collins Jr. goes to the bench. So Tanner and Edwards now the backcourt for Vanderbilt. A smaller lineup with Hogard out there at the 3. Free throw missed.
In a tight game, make your free throws, make your layups.
They've done a good job on Nickel this second half and not letting him get that shot off. Tanner penetrates. Good look. Wow, what a look
How good is 3 and white for a true freshman? I mean, he came out of that corner knowing exactly where he was going with that basketball to find that backside post man.
The full court pressure now being applied by Vanderbilt. Tanner found McLaughlin underneath. McLaughlin now with 12. Edwards 17. Tanner the pick. Up and in. And how about the freshman Tyler Tanner out of Tennessee himself doing it in front of the home fans. The Brentwood native is putting on a show. An entertaining basketball game today to start things off here on ESPN. Oweh in traffic. Oh, they're going to get Hogard with a foul, and that sends the Vanderbilt crowd here to a frenzy. They thought that was ball. There was a lot of body as well.
Yeah, well, Tyler Tanner, the freshman, under-recruited. Only Ole Miss and Murray State wanted this kid in Belmont. Vanderbilt got him. Talk about making a play out of the corner. Knew exactly where he was going with that basketball. Finds McLaughlin. And then McLaughlin with a hard edge. And 3 and white. What Mark Pope say about 3 and white? He will take your ball and go score. Good scouting report. Well executed by Tanner.
It's 38 seconds still on the clock here before we do celebrate another flag day in college basketball. That guy right there, Tyler Tanner, the freshman. Jimmy, we talked about the numbers. 2 turnovers, 382 minutes. Today, as you look at our game summary, 4 assists, no turnovers for Tanner, 7 points.
Yeah, true freshman Mark Byington has trusted in the second half, and he has delivered. That next game coming up, you and I saw Steve Forbes' Wake Forest team before Christmas break. A huge week for them to beat North Carolina midweek, and now Duke comes rolling in. Hunter Salas playing as well as anybody in that ACC, not named Cooper Flagg.
How about an offensive rebound off a missed free throw, leads to a free. They get 1 from the line, 3 from the corner, and just like that, Kentucky back on top.
How good has Almanor been today, man? 4 out of 5 from that 3-point line.
Hogard, nice take. Back and forth we go. Oweh's got 19. His season high is 21. He drives again, and he went right by Nickel.
Really good job by Pope just to say, hey, let's spread this thing out. I like my isolation with Oweh. And a little bit of a seal-off on the inside. You create a driving lane for Oweh to finish.
21 matches his season high. Quiet second half for Nickel. Hogard dribbles into traffic. He looks for somebody. He's got Tanner with 3 on the clock. Terrific defense. Late shot clock, and Kentucky up to it.
I think Mark Pope wants isolation with Oweh again, right?
Yep, they set it up that way. He's got that switch with Nickel on him. And Oweh rises. Too strong. Big battle between McLaughlin and Williams.
Yeah, you can say both guys were holding each other.
Hogard into traffic. Kick. Nickel 3. Yes!
Off the dime. The discipline that Nickel plays with in transition to sprint to that corner and always be a threat.
Kentucky will talk it over. They finally sprung Nickel into the corner. Tanner, the freshman, in the middle of everything. We got a barn burner with 96 seconds to go.
Yeah, Vanderbilt really aggressive in their conversion offense. Nickel right here is going to find that corner man. Oweh is tagging him right now, but you know, Oweh kind of comes off the ball thinking what in no man's land, and just a defensive mistake. Robinson has to late recover, and Nickel makes him pay. Man, every mistake, Ravi, the last 4 minutes of the game, it's magnified, and you can't make a mistake on shooters, and Nickel is a shooter.
Such a good look at how Oweh drifted into no man's land, Jimmy. Good pickup. Here's Nickel now with 11 points on 3 of 6 from 3. He takes a seat on the bench. They bring Huffman in. They're looking for some defense against Oweh.
It's a small Vanderbilt team. You're always concerned, can they get the defensive rebound? If their first shot defense is good, can they clean it up?
3 Wildcats in double figures led by Oweh's 21. Almanor's got 12. Robinson's got 11. Williams being pestered. That's great defense by McLaughlin.
Why try to force it? It just wasn't there. I know what the play call was, but if it's not there, move on.
71-69 Vanderbilt. They will talk it over. And you're absolutely right. They tried once, it didn't work. We're going to force it. And McLaughlin was all over it. 30-second timeout on the floor here at the historic gym. An historic finish coming up. We'll find out. All right, last minute and 20 seconds. Vanderbilt's got a 71-69 lead. A mistake there. In fact, 2 mistakes. You highlighted the one on defense, and then that forced pass after the first one didn't work, and McLaughlin was all over the big body.
It just wasn't there, man. You come out with a play call, and if that play call is taken away, you got to move on. What has crushed Kentucky. They may still win the game, but they have 15 turnovers in this game. Vanderbilt only 5. Man, that's a big number, Ravi, to overcome. Vanderbilt currently being projected about a 10 seed in that NCAA tournament. Just tuning in, trying to figure out, is Vanderbilt the real deal? Well, they are. And took down Tennessee last week and a chance to take down Kentucky right now.
2-point lead. Tanner gets the ball into Hogard, the veteran out of Michigan State. It's been big down the stretch. Under 10, now 8 on the shot clock. Hogard spins, no! Offensive rebound. McLaughlin's come up with some big points here down the stretch.
The value of a guard that can break down the defense, get it on the glass, and it frees up your offensive rebounding.
4-point lead. They want Oweh to take it in. He lost it off his leg. Pope puts his head in his hands on the sideline. Butler tough defense against Hogard, and they will call the foul on 1 in blue.
Just an unforced 16th turnover by Kentucky. Watch Hogard, the ability to break down your guy and get that shot blocker to rotate towards the ball. No one rotates down for Kentucky to be there on the backside of the rim, and McLaughlin 99 like Wayne Gretzky with an easy putback. And a costly unforced turnover by Kentucky.
A little bit like Aaron Judge with the size. He's got 14 points, Jimmy, and 6 rebounds. They knocked off number 6 Tennessee. They're trying to knock off number 9 Kentucky. Hogard probing again. And they will have to foul, and they do. That's Noah who picks it up. This crowd can sense it. They stormed the court last week. We had a whole bunch of security, Jimmy, lining that student section to try to prevent that from happening again.
Is a big fine last Saturday. They're in position to try to cut it off. That's what happens when Kentucky comes to town. It's more than a game, it's an event. And Mark Pope has his team ranked inside the top 10 in his first year. And Vanderbilt with huge opportunity right now.
Kentucky's bringing its shooters in, Brea and Almanor. Williams and Noah are coming out.
Magnon came in for Vanderbilt. Huffman's going to check in, I believe, for Edwards after the free throw to get a little bit bigger size defensively on the floor.
Big free throw made by Edwards.
Yeah, Huffman and Collins both coming in. Collins, one of the best athlete that Mark Byington has, to stay in front of the ball.
Mark Pope wants to talk it over, Jimmy. Joe Lunardi currently has Vanderbilt as a 10 seed. Think about where this team was and what they are on the precipice of doing. Let's go back to the studio and zoom in. Jimmy, Kentucky led this game, remember, 69-68. Since then, it's all Vanderbilt to lead 74-69. What would a win for Vanderbilt mean to the program?
Man, just continues the monster momentum they have right now. I mean, right now being projected in the NCAA tournament. And this is a unique style that Mark Byington has brought into the SEC. An undersized team. He lists everybody as a guard. Now, what they have to do right now is send the message that after we make this free throw, so you're sending a positive mojo to your free throw shooter, we can't give up a three. I mean, we're going to have a 6-point lead, and we cannot allow Kentucky to come down and for us not to be matched up with our defense outside that 3-point line. Kentucky wants to make a 2, so be it, but we cannot allow a 3 on this next possession.
They just dedicated the Huber Center next door, Jimmy, a massive basketball practice facility. Shea Ralph, of course, the UConn women's star who now coaches the women's team. Then a reminder from this athletic department and the university that Vanderbilt is invested and interested in successful athletic programs.
Not a doubt, yeah, no doubt. And think about the first year for both these guys, but Mark Byington comes into Vanderbilt without a lot of winning going on since he took that job over, and to jump into the SEC, which is historically good, and have his team 24 seconds away from going to 4-3.
Edwards, still 18 points. Magnon, did he call timeout? Inbounds. The officials were looking at each other, and this may be a conversation with KB Burdett, because Mike Nance didn't see it. And they're going to look at it. Yeah, and I think that's a good job, right? Mike Nance to look at the coach and say, oh, look, I didn't see it, but I got 2 other guys out here with me.
Does he have possession of the ball when he calls timeout? Right there, timeout. I mean, he's calling it verbally, and Mark Byington's calling it as well. They secure possession right there. Is that foot out of bounds, possibly? Man, there's a lot to look at right here. Was that right foot out of bounds when he secures the ball?
The call on the floor is blue ball out of bounds.
Well, they're taking a look at it, and what a terrific hustle job by Magnon. Well, that's inbounds, Jimmy. There's white on both sides of that sneaker.
No doubt. It can't get any closer than that, but Ravi, to me, he's got control of the ball. He's inbounds. Both player and coach are signaling for a timeout. It's a big, big call.
Those 50-50 balls make such a difference in a game, and clearly with the situation we have here, up by 5 to 21.9. Watch the right foot.
I mean, you can't see if is the back of the heel on the line or not. So I think you got to go with what you can see right there. Very important to remember, in the last 2 minutes of a game, a coach can call a timeout in a live ball situation if in control of the ball. And there you see Mark Byington. He sees his player in control of the ball, and he's on top of it, calling the timeout. I just think it's Vanderbilt's ball. Got control. The head coach is calling timeout.
The amazing part about Magnon there to go get it, he never looked down to see where his foot was. That was a sixth sense of his to not step apparently out of bounds. But again, Burdett and Nance are looking at it.
Ravi, and if it ends up Vanderbilt's ball, that's on Kentucky to not box off and take this guy out with your body and allow him to win the sprint to the ball.
Well, they're making sure, because obviously the magnitude of the call. No, Kentucky came out in the second half, and they trailed big time at the half. They have outscored them by 11, and the headsets are off.
Out-of-bounds call. Blue ball is confirmed. 23 on the game clock. He's out of bounds before getting the timeout.
So the call goes to Kentucky. Byington doesn't agree with it. And Burdett's point, I think, to Jimmy, as you can hear him in the background, was the foot, in their opinion, was down when he signaled timeout.
But see, he plays on out, he lands out of bounds.
Yep.
He's out of bounds before that.
Okay.
The sideline, he shifts that foot, he just steps on the line.
Okay.
Then he starts to look at me and...
So Burdett claims to Jimmy that his foot was on the out-of-bounds line, and that's the call. The foot on the out-of-bounds line, according to them?
The toe was on that inside black stripe, which is the out-of-bounds line on this court, according to the officials. Man, what a big call.
20 seconds to go. They need a couple of three-pointers here, or at least a 3 and a 2 to go with a defensive effort. Robinson, they're taking a lot of time. No good. Rebound, Vanderbilt. And the Commodores are going to apparently win again over a top 10 team. 5.9 to go and free throws coming.
It's going to be an upset because it's the number 9 team getting taken down by a team that's not ranked. But when you watch these two teams play, it's not a major upset at all. Vanderbilt's the real deal. And back-to-back Saturdays, they're going to take down top 10 teams. Unless an absolute miracle happens, but they play a unique style and they play hard and tough, and together does Vanderbilt.
Big Blue Nation making their way out of here, Jimmy. A lot of blue shirts heading for the exits.
Half of Vanderbilt's attempts today were from that three-point line. A high in SEC play. Vanderbilt now with 33 three-point attempts in this game.
36% free throw missed. Owe has it taken away, and anchor down. Vanderbilt up when it comes to men's basketball.
Security didn't work so well.
No, they storm it anyway. Back-to-back weekend wins over top 10 teams. Tennessee last week, Kentucky this week. And what a statement for the Commodores. Undermanned Kentucky team with no Andrew Carr. But a very impressive Vanderbilt victory against a Kentucky team that roared out of the halftime break to grab a lead in the second half.
Think about Mark Byington in his first year. Puts a team together in about 10 days and brings guys that have not played together in back-to-back Saturdays in a historically good SEC. He takes down 2 top 10 teams. They are headed to the NCAA tournament, is Vanderbilt. 6 games into this SEC regular season, and man, what a scene again on a Saturday in Memorial Gym.
Phenomenal game, terrific effort from both teams. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire crew, Mike Ireland, our director, and Scott Matthews, our producer, I'm Carl Ravitch. Vanderbilt a winner again over a top 10 team. Dave O'Brien and company, Duke and Wake, keep it rolling, fellas.